Hi guys, it's Ellie Di Julio. Thanks for joining me for the newest edition of Coffee and Questions, where you get to ask me questions and I answer them. I also have coffee. So let's go ahead and get started. The trip to New Mexico was awesome. It's the first time I think that Lino's had 2 weeks full vacation, which was pretty amazing. It gives you time to settle in and you don't have to feel like you're constantly running around trying to do something or getting used to a place or leaving a place, and it was really great. We went and saw the big lava tubes. There's a lava field down there, and got to do some hanging out with my family and my mom and my brother and my 2 little adopted siblings. It was really fun. And the library visit was really interesting. It's the first time that I've done a library event, and it's the only Magdalena Public Library is the only library that currently carries my books. By the way, if you're a library, please get in contact with me. I would love to give you copies of my books for free. And everybody was really great. A bunch of people came and asked questions, and I got to talk with some people after from the area, which was really great. So now I have some contacts for book 4, Apple of Chaos, which is going to be dealing really heavily with Native American mythology. So that'll be really helpful. And everybody's really great. And then I went and talked to my mom's class, English class in high school. High schoolers are terrifying. Did you know that? Like, 9th graders, I'm ashamed of myself that I was ever a 9th grader and ever acted like that. I went and talked to them about editing and how hard it is and how much it sucks, and they were really great. They didn't spit on me or anything. It was fun. So I'm thinking about actually after that trip doing some more classroom stuff if I can get my knickers out of a twist. So it was a lot of fun. I actually haven't done Halloween in years. I've gone to some parties and stuff as an adult, but we live in an apartment building, so we don't give out candy, and I hate dressing up in costume, especially because women's costumes, the kind that you buy in the store, are all like sexy stuff, and there's sexy Frozen costumes out there now, and I can't deal with it. I have given brief consideration to having to dressing up as characters for my own book, but I feel that's kind of pretentious, a little arrogant, and also Lino doesn't really look anything like Agent 97. Although if someone else out there wanted to do some cosplay, I'm sure I could arrange some really amazing prizes for you. If you guys want to get in touch with me, that would be really fun. This year for Halloween, I may be out of town. I'm visiting relatives. I don't even know. And in Canada, they have their Thanksgiving in October, so that's usually the big deal here. Halloween's not such a big deal. Although there are a lot of little kids, a lot of my new friends have little kids, so it might be kind of fun to go and hand out candy at their house. We'll see what happens. But yeah, probably no cosplay for me this year. Marketing is so tricky in any business, but particularly with writing and being a self-published author, marketing is really hard to track. Honestly, the connection model works best for me, just like what I'm doing right now, and all of you guys out there who talk to me on Facebook and Twitter and on Ello now, and everybody on Team Patron, and just all of you guys, the fact that we know each other and I recognize your name and I recognize your face, and getting to know you, and you know who I am. I'm not a mysterious figure up on a high mountain somewhere. That really has worked for me because we know each other and you want to support me, and I feel extra obligated and to give you good stuff because I love you guys, and that honestly has been the best model that's worked for me. I've tried the little more detached authority figure model, and it just doesn't work. Not for me anyway. It's not the kind of person I am. It's not the kind of thing I'm selling. It's not the way I want to live my life. I'm looking at some other avenues of marketing, but honestly, just anything that brings us closer together makes money. And that always sounds really shitty, and it sounds like I'm trying to sell you out. and trying to like cash in on a connection that's not real. But it's not true. I can only tell you it's not true, and I can only prove it to you through our continued connection. Aside from that, like, the only thing that's really worked is, you know what, nothing else has worked. I tried to do the blog tour when Cora Riley came out and paid money for people to shout me from the rooftops, and I made abysmal money off of that. The launch was a flop, which is why I'm going grassroots, because I need to get back to my connection model. So basically just getting to know you and you getting to know me and being the most honest, open person I can be is the best form of marketing, because it's actual real connection and isn't bullshit. You would think that I would have given this question a little more thought. I didn't. I have so many things that I want to do, so many things on my my 100 things life list, that I don't know if I could pick one. Most of the stuff that I want to do with my life involves long periods of travel, so one day isn't really enough. But one of the things I really miss, and this is going to make my mother cry, one of the things that I really miss is spending the day in the kitchen with my mom. And it seems weird to say that. It's like, but I'm 30 years old, and we live thousands of miles away from each other. You know, she's not dead. But, you know, we used to spend time in the kitchen together, and that was really awesome. And I'm not saying that just to be, like, emotional or get somebody to pull on their heartstrings. It's true. And I'm sure if I sat down and thought about it for a really long time, I could come up with a whole list of stuff, but I don't have time. I got a book to write. Several books to write. But yeah, just more quality time in my life has become increasingly important. So money isn't ever really a factor unless it makes it possible for me to have more free time. So the book launch has already started. The book trailer's out. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can actually go and look for it. The Sword of Souls Forgotten Relics #2 book trailer is out. But this time, like I said earlier, I'm going back to grassroots. I'm talking to people. I'm tapping people who reviewed Cora Riley that are strangers. But otherwise, I'm doing it on my own again this year. There may not be an in-person party this year because the way that finances worked out, it may not be possible. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll get lucky. But we're going to reveal the cover, we're going to do a blurb, there's going to be an excerpt, there'll be print copies, and there's going to be some revision of the patron milestones and perks to kind of lure people in. And, you know, you can get the book for free when you sign up at $10, so whatever. But honestly, it's just a push this time. Just going back to the grassroots and asking people that I know for help and not being too proud to do that. And not getting too attached to it. Like, book launches can be really emotional, and I have been known to cry if book launch day doesn't go the way that I think it should. But I feel like I'm in a better place for that now that this will be my 4th one. I would really like to throw a party. I like parties. But we'll see. Right now, I would really love it if people would just really get involved on the blog and on Facebook and on Twitter. And if you want to be part of the book launch, get in touch with me. Absolutely. I would love to send you a review copy. I would love to be on your blog, on your guest posting, to have you interview me. All of it. Just if you know somebody, please get in touch. Yeah, so that's it. And that's all the questions we have this month. We only had 5. Please send in your questions. As if you're part of Team Patron, you get to ask questions exclusively for this monthly interview. I would love to answer any of your questions about writing, about my books, about my personal life. Like, don't get too gross. But anything, philosophy, economics, whatever. Bring it on. Let's go. Bye, guys.